Hello, everybody. This is Barbara Drazga, aka the Deal Diva, and today we're doing a bundling Q&A, question and answer. And I do actually have a list of some questions that folks ask me on a regular basis, so I'll cover those. And I know that you guys are going to have other questions as well. So go ahead and let me stop the share here so I can look you in the face and say good morning. Hi, guys. So if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the Q&A instead of in the chat, because the chat is hard to scroll so fast. I might miss some questions, but if you put them in the Q&A portion, then I'll be able to mark off when I answer them, and it's easier to organize the questions. So if you have questions, go ahead and start putting them in the Q&A. But to get started, I'm going to pull up a list of questions, most commonly asked questions about bundling that I get over and over, and I'll answer those questions, which might answer some of the questions you have before you put them in the QA. But then I'll go over to Q&A and answer what you got. So let me go over to the chat and make sure everybody can hear me. You guys doing good? Let's stick my glasses on. All right, here we go. So Gian says, this is why I'm quite behind now, rethinking my whole business and strategies. So we're headed into 2019, and I was just saying before I hit record, I was telling everybody on here that I'm doing some rethinking in December too. I'm taking a good 2.5 weeks off just to strategize for 2019, visualize what I want my businesses to look like, because I have multiple businesses, and what I want them each to look like, and what I want to stop doing too. I want to make a stop doing list. I might end up letting a business or two go, depending on what comes out of my, my analysis of each business. And then I'm also going to put processes in place for everything and straighten up my living and my work environment. So everything is a place, and there's a process when something comes into my life. It is a place to go with a process on it of how to get, how to work through whatever that thing is that came in. So I challenge you to do the same for 2019 before we even get there. Okay. So be the exception. I enjoyed, someone is mentioning the book Darren Hardy wrote called Be the Exception. Oh, no, they're talking about my Be the my Be the Exception. Sorry about that. My Be the Exception sign back there. Hey, if you guys have any comments on favorite books you're reading, put that in the chat, and I'll shout those out as well, because I know people watching the replay might need a little bit of inspiration. The one that I'm listening to for the second time now, and I'm going to keep listening to it, is the 12-week year. And then I also just received the accompanying field guide. So I love checklists, and I love being able to fill out forms that help me organize my thoughts. So I got the field guide, just came in a couple days ago. So the 12-week year, Gian says, Miracle Morning for Millionaires. I love that. Oh, The Millionaire Next Door is a really good book too, as is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Just tossing a couple out that have been instrumental in my growth as a business owner. But right now, it is definitely the 12-week year. Okay, so let's just dig in, and then I'll come back. I'll come back to the chat and in a little bit, and I'm just going to start talking about the the Q&A, the most common questions that people have when they think about bundling. Here you go, common questions. I'm just going to run through these and answer them. So how do I know if there's enough interest in my niche? And that comes down to doing deep market research before you ever source product. And you can do research using here a couple of tools: merchantwords.com, Google Trends, keyword.io. You can also go directly into Amazon and Google. And when you begin to type in your main keyword search term, you'll see a drop-down box that shows you the most common phrases that are searched on that start with that term, and that's called predictive search. So you can go to kind of prioritize. If you have a keyword search idea, you type in the first keyword and you see what people are searching for. And like I said, it'll organize it by the volume, how many people are searching for each of those keyword phrases. And that's a good way to get started, understanding the volume of search in a particular niche. I especially like merchantwords.com, and you can go to, I think they added a keyword tool to it recently. I'm not sure what the cost of that is, but where it pulls keywords from listings, I think. But you can get just the basic keyword research for, normally it's like $35 a month. But if you go to merchantwords.com/dealdiva, that's DEALDIVA, you'll get it for $9 a month. And it's one of my most popular go-to tools. So This is a big one. Help me understand UPC and GTIN exemptions. So over a year ago, over a year and a half ago, Amazon put down the hammer on using third-party UPC codes, and they changed the terms of service, and you may no longer, and haven't been allowed to for a year and a half, use third-party UPC codes to identify your bundles. So when you create a listing for a bundle, it asks you or for a product itself, it asks you for the UPC code, right? Well, in a bundle, there's no UPC code on the bundle because the bundle is your product, not the individual products in there. So you may not use a UPC that's on one of the products inside your bundle. Your bundle is the product. So how do you get it in the Amazon system when you create a listing, right? So Amazon created something called a GTIN exemption. And when they first launched it last year, it was a little bit clunky to upload a file and to host your pictures. And they recently streamlined it. And by recently, I mean in just like in the past 90 days. They have made it much, much easier to request an exemption for having to have a UPC code on your bundle. I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk through, I pulled up the screen, I'm going to show you exactly how to walk through it and how to do it. And in fact, the webinar last week on Thursday, one gentleman on the webinar when I talked about this, he went and applied for a GTIN exemption, and by the end of the webinar, he had it. Amazon had approved it. So just to back up just a half a step, another way you can actually have your own UPCs is to apply with gs1.org, and that's the organization that assigns UPCs to products. And you can actually, if you are a private label seller, for example, or you're a brand owner, and you have a bunch of products you know you're going to launch, you can apply for your own set of UPC codes that are registered with GS1 under your brand name. So as you get bigger, as you create bundles that create traction and maybe they're going to be evergreen year-round, you might think about getting your own UPC codes under your own brand, but I don't see it as necessary. I really don't, especially not for bundling, because you don't want to spend money on a UPC code that you can only use one time if you don't know if a bundle is going to work or not. So applying for a GTIN exemption with Amazon is free, and it's fast, and it's the best way to assign a code to your bundles so you can try them out, test them out on Amazon. So why don't I just dig right in and show you Amazon's process for GTIN exemptions, okay? So I'm gonna come over here and share the screen again. Here we go, share screen. And come over to, I know it was here somewhere. iPhone. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. So if you went into your seller account and you typed in GTIN exemption, it's going to come up with this, how to list products that do not have a GTIN. And right in the first line, it says, apply for a UPC exemption. So you're going to click on that, and that will open this screen. Okay, and then you can apply for a GTIN exemption right on the screen. So what you do is you type in a brand, and by the way, it could be a wholesale brand that you work with, or it could be just your own brand, you know, Barbara's Bundles, for example. Sorry about that. And it will take you to the next screen that you hit select, and it takes you, it tells you, it gives you a choice of, well, my bundle, this particular bundle, where am I going to put it? I want it in home and garden, right? And then I'll check availability. And then when you check eligibility, it gives you two options. Exemption is provided for brand and category. So you will be able to list as many products as you want after you get the exemption approved. So this is, again, a little bit of a change. When they give you an exemption for home and garden, you don't have to ask for an individual bundle exemption for any bundles that you create under home and garden. So you click submit, continue to submit proof, and it asks you, do you have a supporting letter from the brand owner, manufacturer, publish? So if you are the brand owner, you're going to put no. And then you put your product name. So let's say it's Barbara's Bundles, and I create a bundle for, you know, something for the kitchen. And then I put my bundle product name in there. Now remember, you have to get to the point with your bundle creation that you've got Your image is done, you're ready to list it, and then you apply for an exemption, okay? And then I can just upload product images, so my main product image for my listing and a couple of supporting images, and make sure that you follow Amazon's instructions here, should not exceed 4 meg, etc. And you put the product name in, which is exactly what your title is going to be on your listing, and you hit submit request. And the exemption is usually approved within, if not minutes, to about an hour. Now, it might be a little bit slower this time of year, but I've never seen an exemption go more than a few hours. Now, what if you want to partner with a brand owner? And this goes back to one of the questions that I get asked often. Do you have a supporting letter from the brand owner or the manufacturer? So you can partner with a manufacturer and say, hey, look, you have some products in your catalog that I'd really like to create bundles with. Do I have your permission to do that? Can I get it in writing? So you just get that letter in writing, and then you upload that letter to Amazon and submit request. It's that easy. Okay, so we walked through the process for creating a UPC, okay? If it doesn't have a GTIN, now all you have to do to find these instructions again, they're either in the Bundle Masterclass when you enroll, or you go into your seller account and you go to help, and you type in GTIN and hit and search, and it will come up with this particular help page. And then it gives you all of the links that you need, async creation, category, product detail pages, and offers. So it gives you everything that you need to walk through, apply for a UPC exemption. So it really is that easy. And I wanted to just walk through it with you guys so you could see that it's not that hard to do. Do not, again, I'll repeat, do not go buy third-party UPC codes. Amazon doesn't allow it. And you don't need to. Why waste the money when you could just request a GTIN exemption? Okay, remember, if you have any questions at all, put them in the Q&A, not in the chat, because the chat's a little bit hard to scroll through and get to all the questions. Okay, so Beth says she uses GTIN exemption for her print-on-demand products on Amazon. Really easy. And it is. It is very easy. And unfortunately, there's a lot of old videos and trainings and mentions and blog posts out there about UPC codes when people who talk about bundles, but maybe they don't do bundles anymore, or they just haven't looked into the new exemptions, and they're breaking Amazon's TOS by using UPC codes, third-party UPC codes, and they're telling you to do the same. So I caution you, because my goal for you is that you follow Amazon's terms of service and make money while doing so by creating these bundles, and not put your account at risk. Because at one point, Amazon was popping up in red when you create a listing that you may not use. Using a third-party UPC code could potentially get your listing shut down and potentially get your entire account shut down. So you have to think about, what is the lifetime value of your account? And is it worth trying to skirt the rules by buying some third-party UPC? And it's not. And the GTIN exemption is so easy to use. You saw it. It's just a couple of minutes, seconds, and you apply for the exemption, that it makes no sense to do anything but use GTIN exemptions. So hopefully I haven't beat on that too much, but I see way too many people trying to use third-party UPC codes because they were told to by somebody who doesn't really know any better. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Let's go and continue the presentation. Let's go back to the common Q&As. I hope that cleared up UPCs and GTIN exemptions. So how do I partner with a brand to create bundles? I just touched on that a little bit. So I call up a brand and I say, let's say there's products, if you guys are doing any wholesale sourcing, and you get a wholesale catalog from a supplier, and you see that there's either they've got product on there that sells really well, but there are so many sellers on it and no margin that you can't make any money on it. Or there are products that maybe aren't selling very well for them because maybe there's something wrong with their listing, and there's a potential for those low-ranked products for you to bundle with them and get traction and kind of own that product through a bundle. So you would approach the brand owner and say, hey, look, what we specialize in is we specialize on creating value-added product bundles, solutions for customers based on your main product. So we would like permission from you to create product bundles, and some of them might say, well, yeah, but we'd like to see the bundle, before you post it. So after you go through all of your research and you've built out your bundle, you can present that to them and say, here's what we envision for this product. Do we have your written permission? Can you send us a letter? And if you noticed, Amazon, there was a link right there that gave you a download for a template letter from a brand owner. So you can download that and put your name on it, your company name and everything, and send that to the brand owner and ask them just to kind of fill in the blank and sign it and send it back to you. And then when you create your GTIN exemption, you just upload that letter. So that's how you work with a brand owner, a wholesaler, manufacturer, in order to bundle their products. Okay, so what do I need to do pay-per-click right away to get traction? So the way that I teach bundling is the entire first module, all the lessons and the exercises are designed to help you understand the customer-centric approach to research. So what I mean by that is to understanding your target market. I mean, doing deep research in your target market so you know what they're searching for. You know all of kind of the special interests and long tail keywords that they're looking for on Amazon. You know the competition, who else is selling things to that target market on Amazon. And then you can use tools to pull off the keywords from those listings and incorporate them into your own. When you optimize your list, when you first do all your research, create a bundle that meets all of the needs or feeds the passion of that niche, and then you create a fully optimized listing through proper keyword written, not stuffed, but keyword written titles, bullet points, description, and multiple high-end images with lifestyle images, and all that's in the Bundle Masterclass showing you how to do that. When you do that, I don't normally have to do pay-per-click or off Amazon marketing to get traction. Now, if maybe there's a slow-moving bundle that I want to kind of give a little boost, I will do pay-per-click, but I don't incorporate a cost for pay-per-click right up front because if I do my research, I kind of mitigate my risk before I launch it. So I hope that helps, but there's nothing wrong with doing pay-per-click. I definitely turn on pay-per-click during Q4 and if I need to get a little bit of traction faster, get something rolling during a high volume sales period like we're in right now. How should I price my bundle? So that's an interesting question. First of all, we're in business, so we need to have profit in our bundle. And I've seen some people they'll put so many things in their bundle because they get really excited about it, and they kind of overanalyze and over deliver in their bundle. There's so much stuff in there, and on the flip side, they didn't get low prices. They didn't negotiate low prices, get wholesale sources, factory sources for their product. So the cost of that bundle is so high that nobody would buy it. And maybe there's great value in that bundle, but because they didn't take into factor the cost of each of those items, they're not going to make any money or they'll lose money. So I created this bundle planner where it basically puts numbers on as you're planning a bundle. It helps you plan out your keywords, and it plans out your potential wholesale products and then your cost for each of those products. And you can change those to find the right mix of product for your bundle that will give you profit. And then another thing you want to look at is the competition. And not necessarily competition. By competition, I don't necessarily mean people who are selling an exact bundle or even a bundle at all to your market. By competition, I mean other sellers who are selling a product to the same market that you want to sell your bundle to. So you want to look at, is there an average price of, let's say somebody's buying a camera or a camera. And all the cameras are $50, but then there's a bundle for, it's got a camera, a mini tripod, some little lenses to it, and maybe a carry bag, okay? And that is $150. The added value between the $50 and the $150 for those added bundle items is too big of a leap for people to make. But if you can create a camera bundle with that base product and 3 or 4 added value products that maybe cost you $10 more, but you can charge $15 or $20 more. So for instance, if that's a $50 camera and you can sell it for $70 or $69. So $20 more than people just selling the camera, but it only costs you $10 more for those bundle items. You're charging a higher dollar amount and you're making more profit. So when you ask, how do I price my bundle? It depends on a lot of factors. And again, all of that is fleshed out in the research portion before you ever buy product. Okay, What is a lazy seller? You guys hear me say this a lot in my trainings. A lazy seller is somebody who just does a Me Too product, somebody who says, okay, I'll just go to Amazon and I'll search for a product, and then I'll look for people who bought this also bought. And other items that maybe sponsored items that are listed down at the bottom of that listing. And then they try to bundle those two products together. And they don't add any extra value. Now, here's the thing. When I search for an item, especially around Christmas time, when I'm buying a bunch of like random stuff that are completely unrelated to one another for gifts, etc., for myself, the people who bought this also bought box will show potentially unrelated items. Because after I've bought that camera, then I go over here and I buy a bathrobe, right? So just relying on Amazon's algorithm to show you what people are buying together is not necessarily the best strategy. You can use it as an idea base for, oh, okay, this is also something that they're searching for when they buy this camera. You can use that for ideas, but I wouldn't rely on it. And when you just put those two products together, you're not bundling based on creating value to the customer. You're not asking yourself the three questions. Why does somebody buy this? What else do they buy? Or let's see, why are they buying this? What else do they buy? Oh, I forgot the third question. I'll get to it. It'll hit me in a second. Who's buying this? Why are they buying it? And what else do they buy? So you want to ask yourself, who's buying this camera? What are they going to be using it for? Are they using it for creating webinars? Or are they using it, is it for kids, a starter camera for a kid? And why are they buying it? Is it a gift for someone? Is it for their business? Is it for home? And then what else do they need? Maybe they need film. Maybe they need filters. Maybe they need a connection cable to their computer, right? So when you only rely on Amazon's also bought, people who bought this also bought, you're really limiting yourself to understanding your target market. So that's what a lazy seller does. And a lazy seller will also do something like they'll have a product and they put they just source a product wholesale and then they throw in a completely random non-related keychain or something that they can get for a penny because it locks down that listing to competitors. But our goal is not just to lock down a listing from our competitors. Our number one goal is to create a listing, create a product bundle that has so much perceived value to your target market, right? Again, you want to make your market your focus. Being a bundler is not about being a narcissist. It's not first about us. It's about the customer. So when you put the customer first, you start looking at your bundle building very differently than if you're just looking at it from a how do I make money bundling point of view. The money will come when you do it right. You have a much higher chance of being a successful bundler. Okay, so question 7, why should I understand a niche market? And there are a couple of reasons for this. Let me take a slurp of coffee real quick. It's still morning here. Okay. When you do market research and you understand a niche market and you get into their hearts and their heads and you do research on Facebook groups and magazines that they read and advertisements in those magazines, you start getting a really clear picture of what's important to them, what types of things that they like, want, need, what problems they have, what passions they share. And this allows you to, 1, write much better copy for your listings, 2, write great ads. If you're doing Facebook ads, driving traffic, creating a Facebook page targeted at that niche market, and then writing great posts and ads in that Facebook group driving traffic. The better you understand your market, the more you can connect with people. And then a third one is that I love drilling down into a niche. So if I create a bundle for a niche that does really well, I want to understand what else this niche would want to buy. What other things do they need? And then I can create a line of bundles for that market niche, a line of product, private label product, a line of wholesale products. And this opens up the possibility for me to expand off of Amazon onto my own websites, for example. So I could, if I find out that a specific niche has the potential for me to create 30, 40, 50 products in, then I can create a website selling products, all of those products, but just for that niche. Like, I love unicorns.com, for example. It's not mine. I don't know who has that. I'm sure it's registered though. Would be for somebody who loves everything and anything unicorn related, right? So just an example, if you think bigger picture and longer term for your business, leveraging Amazon for sales and for testing of product types and niches gives you the potential for moving some of your business to other platforms. The better you understand, and you could even do completely off digital advertising. For instance, I have one product that has a skull on it, and it's related to people who are bikers. And I'm planning on placing a print ad in a guns and ammo magazine, or another related magazine, not just guns and ammo, but an actual print ad, driving traffic to that product that I put on a website off Amazon. Now I sell it on Amazon too, and it tested on Amazon as a bundle. It's just a 2-piece bundle, but it did so well that I decided to try this experiment with off digital advertising to my own website. So when you understand a niche, as my point that I'm trying to convey, is it gives you other opportunities to grow your business as you kind of graduate into new e-commerce areas. Okay, so how do I think more creatively to find niche products? So in the Bundle Masterclass, I illustrate a bunch of look over my shoulder. I call them show and tells, where we basically just start researching. My bundling process is so ingrained in me that I do it naturally now. I don't think about it. So I let you see me implement the process. So I'll just get on Google and Amazon and AliExpress and wholesale company websites and just start generating niche ideas, and then walk through the whole process fairly quickly, showing you how I build a bundle. So how to be more creative is you can start with, now I'm putting together, by the way, a brainstorming checklist to help you get a little bit more traction. We're all born creative beings. Have you ever seen a child say, I'm not very creative? Never. Children are so imaginative, right? And somewhere in our educational process, I think that natural imagination and creativity is kind of pushed down, not killed, not like pushed out of us, but pushed down so we can be responsible adults, right? But having the eyes of a child, and basically if you have kids and you show something to your child and say, hey, look, honey, this is really cute. Who do you think would want this? Now, this is a mid-century glass with a frog on it, right? So target market is people who like mid-century, like me, 50s and 60s stuff, and people who like frogs. So your child is going to just start brainstorming for you, for example. And by brainstorming with a child, it's going to help you kind of bring out that child in you that's still there. I promise you it's still there. And you're going to start brainstorming and having fun with them. So to be more creative, there are a couple of resources out there. One of them is called the Creative Whack Pack. I can't remember who created it, but it's these flashcards with brainstorming tools on each card where you get to kind of play around with each one of them and try them out. So it's called Creative Whack Pack, WHACK Pack. Go find it on Amazon. And there are tons of books on the creative process, but I touch on it in 2 or 3 of the lessons in the Bundle Masterclass in Module 1, where I help kind of shake loose those creative leaves from your tree and help you get started. So how long does it take to create a bundle from start to finish? You know, I know y'all want to get going. So I say if you're starting brand spanking new fresh and you're not familiar with the concept of bundling and you have to kind of relearn the concept, 30 days front to back, and that's fairly reasonable amount of time, leisurely amount of time. If you're a little bit more comfortable with Amazon, you don't have to learn to create a listing, you understand optimization listing, then I'd say a week. I could sit here and I have a brainstorming journal that when I'm online doing stuff and things come up in my Facebook feed, or if I go grocery shopping, or if I just drive around town and I see a billboard, ideas are everywhere. I have to capture them because there's so many of them. But that's because I've trained my brain to see those potential market ideas everywhere. So once you get that skill in, I could create a bundle in 5-10 minutes. So, or conceptualize a bundle in 5 or 10 minutes. And then of course, sourcing the product, because you have to wait for the product to come in, prepping and putting the bundle together, or sending everything to a prep company. That takes a little bit more time. So it really depends. As you get more familiar and comfortable with the customer-centric approach to bundling, that whole process, as it becomes more natural for you, you'll start banging out bundles pretty easily. My goal is 10 new bundles a month, and that's pretty reasonable for me, since I've got so many ideas that I can't get through all of them, which is why I'm going to give you guys 10 done-for-you bundles when you register when you enroll in the Bundle Masterclass by the end of the day, Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. Pacific, Tuesday, December 4th, cutoff. I'm going to give you, just pull out of my personal journal, 10 done-for-your bundles. I'm going to flesh them out with different variations. I'll give you my ideas on the different markets and sub-markets. I'll give you product ideas with links, and I'll make those done-for-you bundle concepts generic enough so you can add your own spin to it, so that everybody, the people who are getting that file, you're not just all creating the same thing. It's generic enough and vague enough that you can just take that concept and then put your own spin on it. Okay, so let me come over here and see what kind of questions you guys have. And remember, just want to remind you, I encourage you to start your research with passions and problems. So understanding a passionate niche market, or understanding a problem that a large group of people have, okay? Instead of looking at product first. Now, looking at a product first can give you an idea for like people who like mid-century modern, or people who like frogs. But then I'm going to ask myself, well, why do people like frogs? What's up with frogs? And I'm going to do research on maybe niche groups in Facebook of people who like frogs, and associations of amphibious lovers, right, or amphibious scientific research, right? And I'm really going to dig into the frog market to understand what that passion is all about. And it could be that some people like frogs because there's medicinal value to the saliva in frogs. I don't know, right? But the medicinal value of the saliva in a frog, I just made that up, by the way. I have no idea if that's true. But that could be a problem that it solves, for example. So this was just brainstorming in 30 seconds off the top of my head, based on looking at an image of a frog. So that's how you can start. Okay, so let me come back over here. Let me come back over here to the chat and see how you guys are doing. I know I'm going really fast. Let me check the chat. Remember, if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A. All right, and I try to cover the common questions that I get. So if I missed anything, go ahead and put them in the Q&A. I see a few questions in there. So I use GTN. Okay, so this is cute. Says, I already feel like a bumbler. Oh, I like that. Be a bundler, not a bumbler, guys. Okay, so let's go into Q&A. See what you guys are asking. Ballpark. What kind of volume are you looking at to justify researching a niche? Okay, so looking at when you're researching, you want to consider all of the numbers, because you want to look at your research from a holistic standpoint. So if you had a ton of search volume on a keyword and you're like, woohoo, this is awesome on a hot market, and then you dig a little bit deeper and you do the next level of research, which is your competition. Who's selling things and bidding on those keywords to that market? And you see that there's thousands and thousands and thousands, and it would be very hard for you to get on first page, even if your bundle had higher perceived value, because there are some really deep pockets throwing pay-per-click into that main keyword, into that market, that you couldn't compete against them no matter how good your listing is. So you can't just look at one metric. You have to gather all of your metrics and then look at the holistic environment for that market. So clearly, if something has 1,000 searches a month on it, it might not be a viable market to do a bundle in. But again, that's only one metric, so I'd need to dig in and see a little bit more. If somebody has like a 10, 20,000 searches a month and 3 potential competitors, there's a really good chance that you'll get on the first page for your bundle, in my opinion. So again, look at all of your metrics, not just one number, to determine the value or the potential of that particular bundle or that niche market. And then also just test. In bundling, when you source wholesale, even when you source direct from factory, you can source just a couple dozen products and create a bundle with 2 dozen or 3 dozen quantity and throw that in to see how it does. So you don't have to go all in and order 500 of all your bundle pieces until you test it. Okay. So next question. Glasses on here. what do you do if there's a customer issue with an individual item within a bundle? You, just like if you had a customer issue, well, first of all, customer issue is vague, so I don't know what that means. If you had a customer issue with an individual product you were selling, how would you handle that? Of course, you would follow Amazon's terms of service. You would address it with the customer, you'd address it with Amazon, and you'd solve the problem. So here's the thing that some people do. They kind of project out all the things that could possibly go wrong and then stall creating a bundle because they get fearful about all the things that could possibly go wrong. Now, as an Amazon seller, if you were getting started right now and you were just starting your Amazon account and you saw a list of all of the complaints that Amazon sellers have about selling on Amazon, all the potential negatives, brand restrictions, getting your listing shuts down, hijackers, Amazon changing rules, yada, 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 Amazon private label brands, I can name them all, right? You just looked at that list of negatives and you said, okay, I'm not going there. Forget it. I'm going to create a real job, right? If you look at all the things that could potentially go wrong, then you won't even get started. So the other thing is, if you search YouTube, I did a video called Become the Chief Problem Solver in Your Business. So things are going to go wrong in business. That's it. Mic drop. Sorry. It's the reality. You're self-employed. This is a business. Things are going to go wrong. In life, things are going to go wrong. It's part of it. It's how you handle it when things go wrong. And here's the first thing you could do is you go on Facebook groups and start complaining about what just went wrong. And basically you're doing that to feed your ego and to get people, oh, you poor dear, you poor thing, right? Or when something goes wrong, you click into problem-solving mode and you get it solved and you figure it out and you get the help that you need to make it happen if you need help. And then you can post on Facebook and say, look, here's a case study. Something went wrong. Here's what happened. Here's how I addressed it. And here's the positive outcome. And that way, that problem that you've now solved becomes an inspiration for other people. So that's my approach when things potentially could happen is I say, well, if there's an issue with an item in one of my bundles with a customer, I make it right. I'll give them a full refund. And if they're pointing out a quality issue with a part that's in my bundle, I want to know that. I'll thank them for bringing it to my attention, and then I will change that bundle to make sure that I've addressed that quality issue. Okay, so that was a long-winded response to that. All right, so we answered this. We answered this. So I get lost researching. All right, I am very creative and get thousands of ideas, but I have a hard time to settle down and actually get the bundles out. What would be your advice on this? So again, in Module 1 of the Bundle Masterclass, it's all about, I have a secondary degree in, it's a mouthful, from Buffalo State University called Creative Problem Solving and Leadership Facilitation. And basically, it was a master's program that was first launched at my university while I was there, and they allowed undergrads to take that master's program as their minor. So I did. So I share that information about creative problem solving, CPS it's called, in Module 1. And I talk about there's two parts of the creative problem solving process. There's divergence, where you generate a lot of ideas, and that's where a lot of people stop, right? And that's what you were just talking about, that you've got all these great ideas, and now you don't do anything. But if you don't do the convergence, which is evaluating those ideas against a set of criteria to find the ones that are that have potential in them, that meet your criteria, then that's the piece that most people miss. And I actually created a matrix. I show you my idea evaluation matrix in one of the lessons in Module 1, where I give you that matrix and show you how to fill it in so you can rank all of those ideas you have based on your criteria that you have for your business. Okay, so that's what you do. You follow the matrix. Next question. What volume do you look for at keywords when you write the listing? So I think I answered that. What is your thinking process in choosing the keywords? So it's not my thinking process as much as it is my market research. I find out what people who are already selling to that market, what they're searching for, or what keywords they're bidding on, for example. And I can, there are tools out there that are mentioned in Bundle Masterclass that pull out keywords from other people's listings so you can show what they're ranking for. Okay, so Felipe asks, if I have a low rank product identified in a wholesale catalog, but with low margin, it is hard even with correct bundling products to raise the margin. Well, that's a statement, not a question. I'm going to turn that into a question. What is your experience with low margin main product that can be customer centric bundled? So Felipe, what Felipe's asking is if he's got a wholesale catalog and there's a low margin product there, and let's say it's a hard. Okay, so it's not hard with bundling. You're assuming, you've made an assumption in your question. It is hard even with correct bundling to raise the margin. So this is a statement you're believing in. And I'm going to challenge you on that it is not hard. When you bundle products with a customer-centric approach and you create a bundle that makes people say, oh my God, I have to have this, take my money, then it's not hard to bundle. And it's not hard to compete against that product individually where there's no margin on the product. So if you do it right, there is margin. You can bundle and you can compete against the main product. So let's see, next question. I have a product I would like to test. And remember, guys, put your questions in the Q&A, not in the chat. So I have a product I would like to test is the question. One of the products that sells well on Amazon is from AliExpress, but the time to get it is long. Okay. Would you test the bundle with another similar product in order to find the right product first? No, because one of Amazon's rules, and again, so I'll direct you over to Amazon's bundling rules, and you can just search bundle guidelines Amazon on Google, and it'll bring them up, is you're not allowed to change out your bundle products. Once the bundle is done, it's done. You can't change out those products. So just wait for them to come in from AliExpress, right? Or pay a little bit more to have them air shipped to you from AliExpress. And sometimes a lot of times I'm willing to pay more for my bundle products just to test out a bundle before I go wholesale. So if I can get the product locally really fast, like today, and test out a bundle, but I know I can also get those products wholesale, I'll spend the extra money and maybe just break even on that bundle because I get to test a couple of dozen of them right now. Okay. Laura, do you use insurance to protect you against claims from customers? So Laura, that is a basic general Amazon question. I do, and I recommend, in fact, I think that Amazon has guidelines that you must have business insurance if you're selling through a business account, or have a professional seller's account. You need to check with Amazon on that. And there are quite a few people who sell insurance to Amazon sellers. So you have to ask yourself, you're in business here. So what are the things that you need in a business? And insurance is absolutely on the list of, right at the top of the list of things you need to protect yourself in your business, as are, having a good bookkeeper and CPA and maybe attorney, and right. So whatever you need to do to have a healthy business, those are the things you should be doing. Don't treat Amazon as just Amazon selling is just a hobby, right? If you're going to be all in, then be all in. And I don't mean you have to quit your job. I'm saying if you look at it as, just earn, $1,000 extra a month, then you've already mentally capped yourself at that much a month. So if you look at it as, this is a side business for me, this is a business for me, whether it's part-time or full-time, then you'll see things from a more less emotional and more professional and logical point of view. Hope that answers your question. All right. Do you have a customs broker when working with AliExpress and Alibaba? How does that work? So that's a much longer question to answer. I have a customs broker. I have a freight forwarder. In fact, I'm ordering a product that was the fast action bonus, one of the bonuses on the fast action bonus that ended Saturday night. Sorry, guys. It's a magnetic monthly calendar, and I decided to go directly to Alibaba, and I'll just have a company take care of it for me. I'll source it, and then I'll have a freight forwarder and an import agent, and they just take care of everything for me. So AliExpress, you don't need a customs broker for. AliExpress's smaller quantity of product, and you can just buy on the website and it shows up at your door. Also, Wish. The Wish app is another great place to find products that come from China. And I get some of those products pretty quickly because some of them come from warehouses in LA that the Wish sellers have already imported and have in the US. So, Okay. David says, now that we are your students, we can send all your problems to your right? No, David, I know that that was a tongue-in-cheek answer. Absolutely not, because I know you've all heard the maxim, the biblical maxim, teach a man to fish instead of giving him a fish. I'm sure I didn't, I paraphrase that incorrectly. My goal for you is to teach you how to fish. If you want me to solve your business problems for you and become your coach, more than happy to. That is the next level training, because you get my personal attention and time in your business. So I'm happy to talk to you about my next level coaching program. Part of the Bundle Masterclass is the private group. So we have a private group with me in there to answer your questions, as well as other master bundlers, so that you get a lot of people kind of giving you input on your bundling business, not just me. So, and you know what, David? If you're always looking outside yourself to have your problem solved, you're not building a business. So having a business is also about taking responsibility for your business, and when problems come up, you figure it out. Oh, then his next question is, just kidding. I thought you were serious, Dave. All right, I should get seriously. Okay, Paul asks me, how do you go about researching your competition? Well, again, how I define competition is anybody selling to that niche market, that same target market on Amazon, whether it's a bundle or a single product. And I'm going to toss that question back to you. How do I find out what my competition is on Amazon? I type it in Amazon. Type in, I pretend like I put the hat of, I am now my customer. I'm my ideal customer. I'm that person buying, unicorn party supplies for a bridal shower, for example. So I'm going to type in the keywords that me as a customer would type in to find that product. And I'm going to see who comes up in the search results and get an idea of who's selling what. And then I can take a look at their listings and see, well, what can I do better in terms of product bundling or the listings themselves, right? And then you start building out from there. So your customer research or your competition research is going to start on Amazon, because that's the platform you're selling on. Okay, and if you decided you wanted to sell your bundles on eBay, awesome, you can totally do that. You would start, you would do your research on eBay to see who's selling what to that target market on eBay. Okay, any other questions? I'm going to go over to the chat because I don't see anything else in the Q&A, which is kind of cool. So let me come over here to the chat and see what you guys got. And meanwhile, I'll just show you real quick what is in the Bundle Masterclass. This is just Module 1. And again, remember I told you all about customer-centric research is everything in Module 1. There's the printable idea evaluation matrix that helps you kind of cull down all of those great ideas you brainstorm, get them down to ideas that you can actually action. And then I have exercises in each of the modules. Again, this is just Module 1. These are all the lessons in just Module 1. So here are the different modules in the Bundle Masterclass. Walk you through my entire approach. And then I have a lot of guest speakers come in. Like I have this gentleman who did 2 one-hour videos from Seller Seller Labs, okay, the guys who do scope. And he did 2 live webinars for us showing us how to do keyword research. And then another gentleman who owns a photography company that I've actually hired to do professional photos for one of my listings, he did 2 videos on how to create, how to stage your bundles and how to create your own photo studio and how to stage your bundles from a psychological standpoint so that it leads the customer's eye over to the buy box. It's crazy stuff. So it's creating your photos from a marketing perspective. And he did 2 hours for us in the listing creation and optimization section. Those are just some examples of the content in there. You get the training models, show and tell videos, or you get me lecturing to you, and then you get to watch over my shoulder, and then you get presentations. There's a lot of exercises, worksheets, the private Facebook group, and you get lifetime access. And then as Amazon changes and as I learn new stuff, because I go to a lot of live events, I buy a lot of high-end courses for myself. As I learn new things about Amazon and bundling, I put them in the Bundle Masterclass, and you get that with no other fees. When the price goes up in January for the Bundle Masterclass, you get everything with no additional cost. Here's just an example of a bundle planner that you can fill out to understand the numbers of your bundle before you buy anything. You get the private Facebook group. You get to be in this group with people like Debbie Tremblay and other master bundlers who, whether you're a newbie or an experienced bundler, All these people are in there to help answer your questions, as well as me being in there to help answer your questions. So I'm in the group every single day, multiple times a day, asking your questions too, answering your questions. So here's your VIP bonuses. I'm going to give you 10 custom done-for-you bundle concepts to kind of get you going right away. What I recommend is before I send you the bundle concepts, I want to see that you get through all of the lessons in Module 1. Because if you're still approaching bundling the wrong way, just, what kind of stuff can I put in an envelope or put in a poly bag and send in, then it doesn't matter what ideas I get you, you decrease the chances of them working. So making this switch, this mental switch to customer-centric research will help you be more successful as a bundler. And I'll send you to these done-for-you bundle concepts after you enroll or after you get through Module 1. You get a dollar store supplier Rolodex. All that stuff you can get at the dollar stores for what, $1? I give you my Rolodex of places I get things for like 29, 39, 49 cents. You get my events calendar. We're putting it together now, which will give you ideas for planning your bundles, a couple of months out. So you can start researching your bundles now based on what's going to happen in February, March, and April, and start placing your orders now for those products and getting the traction now for those products or for those bundles. Okay. You also get, I'm going to do a live Valentine's Day bundles brainstorming maybe in about a week and a half. And it's going to be just look over my shoulder, or this unscripted, unplanned, and I'm just going to walk through my entire process of beginning to end with the Valentine's season in mind. And now is a perfect time to start conceptualizing, researching, and building out your bundles for Valentine's Day. And then Dan, you guys all came from Dan over at TWF, Dan Metters, and he agreed to give a bonus of he's going to pull a list and enter any product category that you want. Of the best-selling ASINs based on the wholesale formula criteria for what Dan and his team would source wholesale. So you can actually just source those products wholesale, or you could use those products as a starting point to identify new suppliers and to create new bundles with suppliers. So here's what you get. All of that for $399. Price goes up to $499 on January 1. No exceptions, no discounts. After January 1, it is $499, but you get lifetime access. So you've got to enroll in the course to get these bonuses by Tuesday night, December 4th at 11:59 p.m. To do that, you go to bundlemasterclass.com/TWF, and on that page, you'll see a list of the bonuses again, and then you just click on the link to enroll. And you'll also see at the top, there's a menu, so you can look at the course outline. I put the entire course outline in there so you can get a feel. I put a couple of videos inside the course outline and about your trainer sections to give you an idea of my training style, if you don't already have an idea of it, and the types of things that I'll cover in the course. So just go to bundlemasterclass.com/TWF, get in the course, and I'm excited to help you start bundling right away. Let's go over to the Q&A again and the chat and see what other questions you guys have. All right, looks like we have some more questions in the Q&A. Let's scroll down here. All right, Jeremy, do you do any custom packaging for bundles, or do they become received as items in a single shipping box? So Jeremy, I'm going to break that one question into two questions. Yes, I do custom packaging. I do polybagging. I do. It depends on the bundle. And again, if you go to bundlemasterclass.com/TWF and click on the course outline link at the top, there's actually a little video there showing you a puppet bundle that I did and how I used creative packaging by making the box that I put the puppets in actually a carry case that looks like it came out of a pet store. And then when you open the box and fold it back, it's a stage so the kids can play on a stage with their puppets. I don't do that with all my bundles. I don't have to, but I made bundling or that packaging a part of the added value for that particular bundle. And you can get really creative with your packaging, or you could just polybag your bundles. Again, it depends on what you're trying to achieve with that bundle. Okay, or do they become received as items in a single shipping box? So again, Jeremy, it depends how you choose. You have to prep your products, and your product is a bundle. You can't just throw all of your bundle products pieces into a box and send it to Amazon and expect them to put it all together for you. You have to put it together either yourself or through a prep company. So what Amazon receives is a finished bundle with your FNSKU label on it and a label that says this is a set. And if it's fragile, you have to have a fragile sticker on it, right? So you have to follow Amazon's prep guidelines. So when they receive your bundle, they can just put it in a bin and ship it out to the customers when they order. Okay. Are the bundle ideas bonus available for the existing bundle? Okay. There are a lot of bonuses already in the course for existing Bundle Masterclass students. Can we access previously recorded sessions, such as the guest speaker sessions, when we sign up? Absolutely. Yeah, all of the, nobody knows everything, right? And frankly, I would be a little bit wary if you heard someone on a webinar who said, I know everything about everything, and I do all the training there. No, that's not the case. I do quite a bit of the training in there based on what I've been successful with in my Amazon business. And then if there are things that maybe I'm not a photography expert, but I know someone who is. I have a lot of friends or in this industry, or people who are service providers who I've hired to do something that maybe isn't my superpower in my Amazon business. And when they do a great job, I invite them. I introduce or do an interview with them, or have them do a video on whatever their wheelhouse is. And I put that in the Bundle Masterclass. So you can learn from the people who know more than I do in that particular topic. Does that make sense? So they're all that's in the Bundle Masterclass. Those lessons are in there as well. Okay, do you ever find a particular manufacturer is saturated with sellers, even bundlers? If so, will you elaborate? So Laura Lee, what I just talked about a few minutes ago about how we sometimes project ahead a potential problem that doesn't necessarily exist in our real lives, and we make it bigger than it is, and we focus on that, so we lose track of our focus on creating profitable bundles. So this is one of those kinds of questions. You ask, do you ever find a particular manufacturer is saturated with sellers? So that question only has two potential answers, yes and no. So the answer, of course, is going to be yes. And then you ask, even bundlers? If so, will you elaborate? So I'm not sure how to answer that. If it comes up that there's a manufacturer that's saturated with sellers, I will determine whether or not I can create a bundle with that manufacturer's products that can compete in that market, or find another manufacturer, or recognize that that particular niche or bundle or product doesn't meet my criteria of being able to get traction, organic traction quickly in the search engine results, and move on to another one. So sometimes we focus on the potential problems and forget to focus on the things over which we do have control. Okay, so that's my answer to that. Do you guys have any other questions? Go ahead and put them in the Q&A. I'm going to go over to the chat and see what you guys are saying over in the chat. How do you guys like what we've done so far? How are you guys doing? Put in the chat, how are you guys doing? Do you understand everything I've said so far? Is there anything I need to clarify? Thank you for your time. This is great information. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. David says, we are looking for a consultant to help us create new Amazon ASINs for multi-packs. Okay, possibly for bundles too. The consultant would need to create the ASIN, title, image, description. We will handle all the packaging and shipments to Amazon FBA warehouse. Can you help? Yes. So David, go ahead and just reach out to me, and I can make some recommendations for you. Reach out to me on Facebook. And Jan says, thank you. You're welcome. Hey, how you guys doing? Did you get all of your questions answered? I tried to answer most of the common ones and also maybe allay some of your fears. I invite you by tomorrow night to come join me in the Bundle Masterclass. Felipe says, great, do you have a 3-payment option? No, Felipe, I do not, but you can put it on a credit card, and also PayPal has a financing deal now. So you can go to paypal.com and sign up to get finance for things that you buy. And basically, here's the thing. One of the ways that I keep my price low at $3.99 is I don't have to hire someone to manage payment options and to chase after customers and to have accounts receivable. And I want to focus all of my time and energy on creating great content and training for people who want to learn bundling. So if I now add a piece where I have to chase down people for payment, it takes me off of my main goal. And frankly, selling on Amazon is going to take some capital. So if you don't have capital to build bundles, if you don't have $3.99 for a course that teaches you how to build bundles, then I kind of don't want you to buy it, because I don't want to take your capital from sourcing wholesale or sourcing RA to build up your capital to be able to invest in training, right? The ideal person for a bundle, this course, is somebody who understands the value of investing $399, potentially you know, I've got one of my students recently, Anita Breeze, just before Halloween, she created a bundle. It was a unicorn bundle of some sort. And she sent in 24. And the day that hit the warehouse, it started selling. And she netted, I think, $14 on each bundle and sold out in a week and was scrambling to send more quantity in. So if you do the math on that, she made $509, I think it was, in 1 week. That's $2,000 a month on that one bundle, just on selling 24. If she were to sell, you know, 48, 100 a month, think about the potential net profit. I mean, right now she's netting $2,000 potentially a month on that bundle. That's the power of bundling. So investing $399 to understand the whole process that'll short circuit your learning process to get you started faster, and also decrease the risk when you learn to do bundles, what I believe is the right way, by understanding the customer first, you potentially increase your chances of your bundles selling when they hit the warehouse, selling more, and becoming more popular and profitable, as opposed to just throwing a bunch of stuff on Amazon and, you know, have to pull it back and pay long-term storage fees and eat product when you don't do it the right way. So investing $399 in your education to avoid losing money by doing it the wrong way, I think is a steal. There are courses out there for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 that teach a lot of the things that I teach in the Bundle Masterclass in terms of listing creation, wholesale sourcing, private label sourcing. So $399 is a really good price for this course. And I invite you, if you're at the point in your business where you're ready to invest $399 to learn a skill that could potentially quadruple, 10 times what you're doing now on Amazon, then I invite you to join. Love to have you in there. And if you're not quite ready yet, that's okay too. But when you're ready, I'm going to be all in the Facebook group answering your questions, and I'll be accessible to the people who enroll by Tuesday night. You get all the bonuses too by Tuesday night. So if you have any other questions, hit me up in the chat real quick. How you guys doing? Yes, you can find me on Facebook. It is Barbara Drazga. I guess I should put that there. Barbara Drazga, and I'll go up here and spell the last name for you, because I know it's a little bit, there we go, Barbara Drazga. And you can also go to Bundle Secrets on Facebook. It's just a page that I have that I put some bundle ideas up every once in a while, but it's not the private group, okay? So go hit me up on Facebook, Barbara Drazga, and then join us in the Bundle Masterclass. I'm really looking forward to having you guys in there. I'd love to meet all of you and find out where you're at in your businesses so that the rest of the group can, you know, there are people at different levels, from beginning Amazon sellers all the way through to very seasoned Amazon sellers in the Bundle Masterclass private group. So you'll access all these folks who are, you know, been there, done that, and are also kind of where you are in your business. Okay, Gian says, I'm a student of this course and there is a lot of value. Thank you. This price is really worth it. Could be selling for a lot more in my opinion. Gian, you are not the first person to sell me this. I've been told that I should sell the Bundle Masterclass for $1,000. I will never price it at $1,000 because I really, I do want to help people. I want people, I want the price point of the Bundle Masterclass to be such that it's accessible to anybody who wants to learn bundling. And I don't want to price newbies or new sellers out of my training because I think it could help you get to the next level. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for the day. Again, I'm Barbara Drazga with the Bundle Masterclass. Go enroll at bundlemasterclass.com/TWF by tomorrow night, Tuesday, December 4th at 11:59 p.m. I'm so excited to have you in there. Oh, we've got one more Q&A here. Let's see what else we got here. Gian says, I love the price point and really appreciate you doing it to help. You're welcome. Okay, guys, so thank you very much for your time today. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Facebook, Barbara Drazga. And looking forward to, let me stop the share so I can see you face to face. I'm looking forward to seeing you folks in the Bundle Masterclass. I'm excited to be a part of your journey. So again, it's bundlemasterclass.com/TWF. And again, go check out some of the other videos and the course content on that website too that will help you kind of make the decision if this is the right choice for you. So thanks, guys. Happy day, happy Monday, and we'll see you in the Bundle Masterclass. Bye.